All right, what's up, everybody? We are back with the NFC East Breakdown. We got our NFL division breakdowns while the off-season's going on, and we got the NFC East today. So let's jump right into it. We got me and AG. We're going to start off with the Eagles, who just had a huge trade with Carson Wentz going to the Colts. And they got a lot more going. So they got a new head coach this off-season. They still have Howie Roseman, who's just a huge mess right now. Their new coach they brought in, definitely unproven, not really known. And it's just, like I said, it's a mess, to be honest. That's the best way to explain it. Because Carson Wentz, he had problems because he had no weapons. So now you throw away Carson Wentz, you still have Jalen Hurts. You still have yeah, still have no weapons. And then it's going to be the same situation with him all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not for Jalen Hurts' sake. But I mean, on top of that, they just released this week. They released Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, those aren't surprises or anything. We kind of all saw it coming, but they need to go deep into getting some weapons. There's a lot of improvements that need to be made on that team. They're obviously not a good team. Chemistry is a question. Talent is a question. Money is a question. I mean, they're paying a ton of dead money to Carson Wentz now for the next couple of years, I believe. They signed him on that huge contract.
Literally,
Um,
money they have taken a hit, like the dead money. It's the most in NFL history. It's like 33.7 million or something.
yeah, see, so they've got a lot to figure out, man. I don't even know where to start with the Eagles, but I guess you gotta start with the weapons. Help Jalen Hurts out if he's gonna be your guy. You don't want him to. I mean, you know how it goes in Philly, man. You know those fans. They're crazy, man. They're passionate. They're very passionate. That's a better word. But you don't want to believe in Jalen Hurts and have him go out there with nothing to work with and look bad, and it's gonna look like it's on him, right? And then those fans freak out about him.
Yeah.
And then he loses confidence. And then you guys have to start entertaining different ideas to make your fans happy. And it's like, you don't want to go down that path again, man. I hope they don't want to go down that path again. You got to go get a weapon for Jalen Hurts, 3 weapons for Jalen Hurts immediately.
And
And then after that, worry about the rest.
yeah, facts. And you know what I think really hurt them that it's not talked about anymore? That last game of the season, like intentionally losing. I think that hurt the team tremendously, and I don't think Howie Roseman realized it. I think he thought, they're not going to think anything. We're not making playoffs. Just go lose the game so we get a better draft pick. Next thing you know, now the players are pissed. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The chemistry, there's locker room issues. They got a ton of problems. You gotta at least protect your quarterback at this point. That's how I'm looking at it.
yeah. And like you were saying with the fan base, not only for Jalen Hurts, but the new head coach. You think they're going to give him time? Heck no.
Oh yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, same thing.
Bad.
They'll be sent out together.
Yep. Yeah, it's terrible for him.
It's like Dougie and Carson.
Yeah, it's gonna be the exact same thing. We touched on it in season 3, page 3, where it's really just Howie Roseman. We gotta trade him off.
Should have traded Howie.
Yeah.
Should have traded Howie.
But we'll move on to another incompetent GM, to be honest. The Giants and Dave Gettleman. So we have the Giants who they're in an interesting situation, I'd say. I mean, they need a number one weapon for sure. They need help on the O-line for sure, right? And that's just on the offensive side of the ball. The defense was surprisingly very good. I think they could add, another safety and then pass rushers. They get some pass rushers up there and some help in the secondary with James Bradbury and Logan Ryan. And that defense could be good. But the interesting part for me is Daniel Jones the guy? Can he be that guy? Can he lead them? I get he didn't have Barkley last year. He doesn't have good weapons on the O-line. But he still has to show something. And he has here and there. But he's also shown turnovers. And it just – I don't know. I think that's the big question. Is he the guy?
If Daniel Jones can stop turning the ball over, if they just got to run some high and tight drills with him, man. I remember, what were they doing over the offseason? They were like letting him get hit instead of doing some drills.
whatever.
That's stupid, man. Just
Can it
teach
help?
the kid how to hold the rock. Make him hold it. If anything, make a rule where if he ever runs without holding the ball with both hands, he gets benched or some shit. Like, make it a rule, bro. Force him to stop fumbling the ball because that's the biggest issue. Picks, you can figure that out. Fumbles worries me. It's the same thing with Lamar. You know what I mean? Like Lamar fumbles way too much too, running around with the ball like this and shit. But Danny Jones is actually like, he's not being a dickhead with it. He's just
He just
fumbling.
hold on to it. Yeah.
Fumbling. Every time he gets hit, it's you're liable to see the ball come out. And I'm just like, what are you doing? But other than that, dude, if he is the guy, if he becomes the guy, the Giants are pretty poised for
Yeah.
taking over this division. Not necessarily taking over the division because I think the football team and then the Cowboys can't be counted out, but it'll be top heavy. I think the Eagles are going to just fall to the bottom,
Yeah.
and the Giants
I
they
agree.
have an opportunity to be in that top half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's the guy, they definitely need to get some weapons for him and some depth all around, really.
Yeah, they need help in a lot of places, but like you just said, that number one weapon, that target for him, they need that right away because Golden Tate's gone. I think Ingram need a new contract?
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't even matter.
Ingram hasn't shown up last year
You're
yet.
going to improve him anyway.
Yeah,
I got a personal gripe with Ingram. He's lost me a ton of money with drops.
dude, it was unbelievable the drops he had.
Dude, it'll be like I'll need like 12 more yards from Danny Jones, and he just drops a 37-yarder with 1 minute left, and I'm just like, all right, why do I keep betting on this guy?
Terrible. But we'll move on to the next team that you actually just brought up before, the Dallas Cowboys. So they obviously need to start off by signing Dak Prescott. That's for starters, for sure.
Yeah, but they're trying to franchise tag him, right?
Again,
I know you briefly talked about it in our stop that from page 3, but go ahead, go back into that to say that again. Your deal.
they basically ESPN came out and said that it's unlikely they'll get a deal done, and that it's leaning towards more of another franchise tag. And like I said, and stop that, it just doesn't make sense because the money you're paying him for this franchise tag would be almost exactly the same as if you signed him a long-term deal and just paid him throughout the years. But the thing with that is when you put years on it, you could spread out the money. So you don't need to sit here and be like, all right, Dak, we're paying you $40 million this year. No, we'll pay you $20 million this year, $20 million next, then 30, 30, 40, 40, the next 2. Like you could spread it out and make it so you're not in cap hell right away. But because they're doing the franchise tags, it's 1 year, 30 million, 1 year, 35 million. Next year, it's going to be 1 year, 40 million. So you can't even sustain that amount going off of it like that. So they got a lot to work on, but Dak Prescott needs to be their top priority right now, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying it for a while. Just sign the man. You're not gonna get a better option.
Yeah.
But like I was saying a couple episodes ago, on the weekly show, I'm pretty sure that the reason they haven't yet is because they're not confident in it. And I pointed to those stats last time, not saying that I agree with them, but I mean they only were like 1 game down in wins and about 1 point per game less without Dak all year. Um, I don't know. That might be what they're looking at, where they're like, should we pay this guy? But like you said, your point is it makes sense. I mean, I think they also could be scared about what just happened to their rivals over in Philly that we just talked about. You pay the guy a ton of money, especially after this year. Like, if he didn't get hurt this year, I think they would have paid him this offseason.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I think that this year the franchise tag makes a little bit of sense just because he's coming off that leg injury. It was a gruesome leg injury. Just make sure he's still himself before you load all that money up on him. Because I think they're watching what happened in Philly and they're like, it's not going to be us.
Can't be us.
But couldn't be me. It's probably what they're thinking. That's what Jerry's up there thinking. But I mean, other than that, they hit on their weapons. You know what I mean? They've got pieces around them. I guess just improving the O line and the defense after that would be the next steps.
Yeah, they need so much help on defense, bro, from safeties, corners, linebackers, pass rushers. I mean, half their defense, I'm pretty sure, is hitting free agency. Like 2 or 3 of their corners, I know 1 or 2 of their safeties, and then the pass rushers all hitting free agency this year. So on top of having to franchise or sign Dak Prescott, you got to re-sign some of your pieces on defense. So I mean, they got a lot to go off of, and I mean, like you said, they have weapons. They can get it done on offense. I think it's the defense that scares me the most, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, how many points are they giving up? I don't know the number, but every time I looked up, the offense was scoring and they were losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, I mean, it's the Cowboys. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't really have confidence in him. I mean, I don't think Jerry Jones is incompetent with it, like some of the other guys in his division, but he whiffs a lot, man. He puts good names on paper together, and it doesn't really work out ever. Well, at least to that point, they can make the playoffs. Sure, they're a playoff team. They were a playoff team last year. Could have been, should have been. You know what I mean? But and that's without Dak. But does Dak put them over the edge? Does any of those improvements put them to the next level? I don't know.
Yeah, I think just because they're weak division, getting Dak back and helping that defense, it could put them, like you're saying, the playoffs again. But I don't know if they're ever going to get over that hump of,
Yeah,
second round of playoffs or so.
yeah, like winning a playoff game.
Yeah, it just seems
I
like
don't.
every other team's better than them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I don't even.
NFC East. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna. It seems like just that with the NFC East in general. Like no matter who makes the playoffs, you could probably name every other team in the playoffs that's gonna beat them.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the exact point I was just gonna say when you told me to go. I was gonna say I don't think any team in the NFC East is winning a playoff game in the next 2-3 years. I mean, it's a little bit of a hot take because that's a long time. Anything can happen in that time, but like, so don't like, I'm not burning that or I'm not dying on that hill. But dude, I don't see it. I mean, even the Cowboys, if they were gonna be over the hump, they're gonna need a year or two. Giants, they're going to need a couple years. Eagles, they need to rebuild everything. And then the football team, which we're about to talk about, I think they got the best shot going forward, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely tough for them. I was trying to look up the standings, but we'll get along with that.
Now, go ahead if you want.
Nah, that's all good. We'll go right to the football team, like you mentioned. So we talked about that a little bit in page 3 too. Alex Smith isn't coming back, so they signed Tyler Heineke, but they definitely need a quarterback as well. That whole division, man, just quarterback.
You were trying to look at the NFC East stats or division or standings?
The wild card, who was in it?
Oh, who was in the wild card? It was them and the Bucks,
Yep,
and then it was
like Seattle or LA or something.
in Seattle and LA, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you would think the NFC East get whoever wins that division, they're the fourth in the division. So you're going either against Seattle or LA or the Bucks or you know what I'm saying? Like
Or
no
the
matter
Bucks are the Saints, or the Packers are the Bears.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. But yeah, so the Washington football team, they need a quarterback, just like the whole NFC East, to be honest. I mean, they could sign a veteran, trade for Darnold, draft a quarterback.
They
Whatever
got,
they do, they need to find a quarterback because that defense cannot carry him much longer. They can
they
only
got they got their boy Taylor Heineke. His
I don't know,
name.
man.
Hey, they gave him the bread.
I
He's
think
holding the bag.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like the bag's in his possession already. They gave it to him already. I don't see why you give it to him if you're gonna go shop around. That wouldn't make any sense.
Quarterback wise, always have a backup option.
Yeah, yeah, but they gave him a bag.
They gave him like 8 million, 2 years. That's not bad.
Played what, one game?
Yeah, that's facts. That's
He played
facts.
a great game, but I didn't even know who the kid was before that game. You
Well,
gave him 8 mil. You know what I mean? Look, if I could show up for work one day and you give me an 8 mil contract after that, sign me up. You know what I mean? No, he played well, dude. If he is the answer, if he plays like he did in that playoff game consistently, if that's him,
And he,
they're gonna go back to the playoffs
yeah,
based on winning that division. You know what I mean? Based on solely that.
yeah. I just think it's a lot to hope for. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, no, it is.
he's what 3 years now. He's not a rookie, right?
I don't think so. No, he's not a rookie.
He's been in a couple of years, so it's like I don't know. He obviously didn't get his shot before, and off of one shot, you're going to give him 8 million and hope he's your starter
Dude,
next
that's what I'm saying. I think he was in the XFL last year. Now this is his third year, but
year.
yeah, he hasn't really played. His first year he got 10 yards total. So he probably played like
Yeah.
couple snaps. 2018 he had 320, a touchdown and 3 picks.
Pay for.
Carolina until 2018. 2017 was in Houston.
Oh, that makes sense. Ron Rivera brings him over from Carolina then.
Right, and pays the man.
I see it now. Makes sense.
2019 he was in the XFL. And then last year he was with Washington. He only played in that game, it looks like. He had 137 yards and a touchdown. So it looks like that was his only game that he played with Washington. They gave him 8 mil. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, it seems like they're confident in him. I mean, dude, it was a great game. He played a great game against the Bucks.
Yeah.
They almost won that. Dude, that changes the whole NFL season since Brady went on and won. Imagine he went on the wild card 2 years in a row instead of winning the Super Bowl. That changes his entire destiny, bro.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke almost changed Tom Brady's legacy, bro. So
that's wild to think about.
We got to give the man a chance. You know what I mean? But other than that, dude, like you said, the defense is crazy. They've got some young weapons. They give them another weapon, some O-line help, and just some bits and pieces to fill some gaps on the defensive end. That's a pretty solid team, bro. That's all dependent on their quarterback being good. I think it's interesting that the entire NFC East kind of depends on, is your quarterback legit?
Yeah, that's to be honest, I feel like we don't get that much with the whole division. Like like every division you can name one or two quarterbacks. It's like, all right, that's the guy, like for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like every team, it's like, all right, well, if their quarterback proves to be legit and is balling out next year, that's the team that's going to the playoffs. Because we're not expecting all four of them to do it.
Yeah.
We're expecting, all right, whoever has the best quarterback play, which is all, can't take it for granted because we don't even know if there's going to be one that plays well. Like, I mean, I think Dak's the best quarterback in the league, in the division. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
In general. But we got to see how he comes out for that injury. You got to see how he's playing this year. If he's playing a little nervous and scared, or if he's just in there slinging it like he was, running around and whatnot. You got to see. I mean, so we don't know what to expect from any of these quarterbacks right now, which I think is a very interesting dynamic that only has this issue in the NFC East, like you said.
Yeah. This could be another 6-10, 7-9 division winner.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Whoever gets in is getting in just because they won the division. It's not like they're a playoff team.
But, now, you had to put your house on it. Who are you going with to win the division?
I'm going with the football team.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm kind of big on them, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, I like them. I like where they're headed. I don't think that I'm not saying that because I think Taylor Heineke is legit the answer going forward. Like, that's who they're going to build a team around. Can he get the job done next year? It depends. Obviously, like we were just saying, we got to see. But in terms of a team as a whole, I think the Washington football team they've got the best opportunity to grow and keep moving forward in the right direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you said it exactly. Like outside of the quarterback, they are the most complete team.
Yeah.
Defense, O-line, wide receivers. I mean, they got weapons too, man. So, yeah, I'd probably have to follow you right there. Go Washington football team to win the division again.
Yeah. If it's not Washington, it'll be Dallas.
That's what I'm thinking. I was just going to say, I think it would be Dallas. As long as Dak Prescott comes back fully healthy, I think Dallas is right there competing as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Giants, they got a couple more steps they need to make, and Philly's the new Houston at this point, another dumpster fire. So We'll see how they put that fire out.
Yeah. But that'll wrap it up for our NFC East breakdown. We are going to be doing breakdowns of all the divisions throughout the months leading up to the draft, basically. So catch us again each week. We'll have the NFC breakdowns. We'll have new weekly episodes to come out with. You catch us on YouTube. You catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you subscribe and go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Russo's Playbook.
Check out russosplaybook.com. Speaking of Taylor Heineke, we've got an article about him and his coming out next week. We've got some articles dropping today and tomorrow as well. I mean, we got a lot of content for you, so we'll put this in a blog too in case anybody didn't want to listen to the whole thing. And yeah, that's that. Thank you.
We'll wrap it up right there. We'll catch you guys again next week.